If you're watching this, that means Oklahoma has destroyed the Denver Nuggets in a nasty way. We will be seeing an SGA versus Ant-Man Western Conference Finals, and OKC has an opportunity to do something really funny here, so stay with me. And I can't talk about last night's Game 7 without talking about the one, the only Alex Caruso. See, the stats don't do him justice here. If you just looked at the box score, you'd see, oh, he had 11 points and 3 rebounds. The box score can be very different from reality. This is why it's so important to actually watch the games if you have the time. Caruso was very much the reason OKC found success slowing down Denver's offense. Earlier on in the series, Isaiah Hartenstein was the one primarily guarding Nikola Jokic, as you'd expect, the two big men. And Hartenstein found himself in foul trouble. He had a hard time containing Jokic because to guard someone like Jokic, you have to get physical. You have to put your hands on him. And the refs were calling it. Understandably so. They were calling a lot of fouls on him. He found himself in foul trouble. So this time around, they figured, let's just put a smaller guy in Alex Caruso on Jokic, and because he's smaller, he could probably get away with a little bit more. And they were more than right, actually. He got away with a lot more. Alex Caruso straight up just holding him, putting his paws on him, grabbing him, pushing him around. I saw one specific turnover in that first half where they're inbounding the ball to Jokic, and Jokic can't even go pick up the ball, which is literally like the distance from here to here, because Caruso just holding him. And he's getting away with it because he's so much smaller. See, these smaller guys, these pesty guys, the Jose Alvarados of the world, the Alex Carusos of the world, these guys get away with a lot more because the refs are willing to let them do so much more. If Hartenstein had been doing the same thing Caruso had been done, it would have been looked at as a murder scene. He's so much bigger and stronger. And when Jokic did have opportunities to just put his body on Alex Caruso and try to score that way, Isaiah Hartenstein's still there. He's just playing help defense. So Jokic is here, Caruso is here. Jokic is coming closer to the rim, and as he does that, that's Hartenstein's signal to move over here and put a contest up, which makes it difficult for Jokic, because now Jokic has two options. Force it up anyway, try to do some Kobe Bryant shit. He can do that sometimes, but it's not the best play. The better play is to pass out. And when you're being double teamed, somebody on the court is open. And those two guys were Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. You see, with Nikola Jokic essentially being neutralized by this double team, somebody not named Jokic has to step up. And the only way to prevent a double team from reoccurring is to punish them for doubling, which means people have to make open shots, get the outlet passes going, whatever it needs to be. The ball has to get in the goddamn basket. And that is not what happened. The reason it didn't happen is because I said earlier, Jamal Murray and MPJ sucked. They sucked. In that first half, they cost them. They really did cost them. And I'm going to go deeper on them in a little bit, but I also want to talk about these turnovers, because turnovers were very costly for Denver in this first half. For whatever reason, they cannot protect the ball, and OKC was scoring on most of these turnovers, which really is what gave them that lead in the first place. I think OKC led at some point in the first half by 14. If you watched my previous video, you remember my biggest concern going into the game for Denver was Aaron Gordon's health. Aaron Gordon suffered from a grade 2 hamstring injury at the end of Game 6, and as a result, I just wasn't confident he'd be able to even play at all, or actually contribute in a real way. And credit to him, he actually did play. He played through. You could tell he was out there, but he just showed out for his teammates. And I think he earned, not that he didn't have respect, I'm sure he had a ton of respect, but he earned a lot more respect for everybody in that locker room. This guy was willing to die on his shield. I thought it was just really bad because throughout this postseason, and even times last season, but especially this season, I've always said, I've been consistent here. I think Aaron Gordon is their second most valuable player. I really do. I think he's more valuable than even Jamal Murray. When Jamal Murray, you know, he's a coin toss. Him and Westbrook, they're kind of similar in that way. One day he's gonna look like prime Kobe Bryant. The next day he's gonna look like he did last night. He was terrible in that first half, and honestly, he was terrible all game long. He was bad, man. Someone's getting paid over $100 million. You expect the best from them on a consistent basis, and that's not what they got. Aaron Gordon, on the other hand, in that Clippers series, he was the one who stepped up. Hit that big three earlier in this series, in Game 1, the Game 1 that they stole from OKC. OKC had that game in the bag. Really, this series should have ended in 6. It was thanks to Aaron Gordon's heroics that even went to 7 in the first place. But yeah, I'm saying that to say this. Last night, a grade 2 hamstringless Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown outperformed both Jamal Murray and MPJ. Aaron Gordon with one leg and the role player, Christian Brown, both outperformed MPJ and Jamal Murray. You can't win like that. Jokic didn't have a chance to going into the game. He didn't have a chance with his teammates acting like this. Meanwhile, OKC's Jalen Williams, who had a terrible Game 6, performed fantastically in Game 7. He started off hot and proved all of the doubters, including myself, wrong. And he led his team going into halftime with 17 points. And as a result, OKC led 60-43 going into halftime. They shot 48% from the field, 25% from 3, 60% from the free throw line, had 22 rebounds, 9 offensive ones, 13 defensive ones, 16 assists, 8 steals, 3 blocks, and only 3 turnovers. They had 10 fast break points, 40 points in paint, 11 fouls, and a lead as large as 14. Denver, on the other hand, shot 37% from the field, 21% from 3, 75% from their free throw line, had 26 rebounds, 8 offensive ones, 18 defensive ones, only 8 assists, 3 steals, no blocks, and 12 turnovers. 12. Their leader heading into halftime was Nikola Jokic with 17 points. And with J-Dub getting so hot so early on, Denver had to play SGA more honestly than they did in Game 6. And the brother killed it. He was amazing. He was sensational. He's showtime. He's showtime. This is the MVP we're talking about. He earned himself MVP today. He closed out the experienced Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic in Game 7 with 35 points on 76% true shooting. Final score 125-93, solidifying his case for MVP. Okay, so now the funny part. But first, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button below, because if you don't, I'm gonna personally make sure that Nico Harrison is your next GM. And trust me, nobody wants that. Back in October, the New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves agreed to a 3-team deal, including the Charlotte Hornets, essentially trading Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns straight up. And at the time, a lot of Knicks and Timberwolves fans had some very strong feelings about this trade. Timberwolves fans in particular were very heartbroken over this because they had drafted Cat themselves and had the pleasure of watching him grow into the man that he is today. Not to mention, the Minnesota Timberwolves had made to the conference finals thanks to Cat just the previous before, and he was a crucial part to that. They had finally seen what he looks like at his best. It seems like he was just now entering his prime of primes. And let's just be honest, at the time on paper it looked bad, really bad. And that's mostly because Julius Randle had a drastically different reputation then than he does have now. At the time, he was considered just another all-star who's super injury prone, doesn't play a lot of defense, and underperforms in the playoffs. But now Julius Randle is beloved by NBA fans everywhere. The guy proved that he could in fact play good defense in that Lakers series as well as that Warriors series. Not to mention his offensive inconsistencies and injury-riddled moments are a thing of the past now. In this year's playoffs, Julius Randle hasn't missed a single game. Also, he's averaging 26 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field. Not to mention the games where you figure the Timberwolves would probably lose because Anthony Edwards just couldn't get his shot to fall for one reason or another. Julius Randle has been the one that steps up scoring-wise and wins them the game during crunch time. Okay, so now that I've refreshed everyone's memory, how crazy would it be if we got to see the New York Knicks and Timberwolves, aka the Karl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle revenge game NBA Finals? Come on, they get to play their former teams and they get to prove which one of them is the better player. This is something out of a movie. That would be cinema, wouldn't it? I think I speak for most NBA fans when I say this is the NBA Finals matchup that everyone is dreaming for. Okay, now imagine OKC just doesn't let it happen. Seriously, even if you like the Timberwolves, I personally think the Timberwolves are going to win in 7. But if someone told me from the future that OKC is going to go on to destroy the Timberwolves or beat them in a competitive 7-game series, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. With the defense these guys play, we just saw what they did to Denver. They neutralized Nikola Jokic. So if they're able to do that, who can they not neutralize? Who can they not stop? I'm serious. With the defense they play, the killers they have offensively, how well they play together, and also it's SGA. SGA, the guy who's probably going to be this year's MVP. I don't think OKC is going to go on to win, but if they did, I wouldn't be too surprised. They have the talent. They have everything. They have the piece. The only thing we're really concerned about going into this playoffs was just their experience, and experience has proven not to be an issue. They beat the experienced Nuggets. What do they have to do to prove themselves? So I can see that happening. So yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I think SGA has an opportunity to pretty much ruin what could be an all-time great rivalry between the Wolves and the New York Knicks and Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns. That would be so cool. And if he ruins it, I'm going to be so disappointed. I'll be so disappointed. But hey, at the end of the day, we just want to see good hoops. We just want to see good hoops. But I would be disappointed. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. It can't be that bad, right? It can't be that bad. Even if OKC makes it to the finals, that'd be exciting. I mean, the only thing that would really be disappointing is if the Pacers made the NBA Finals. That would be horrible. If the Pacers beat the Knicks and went on to the finals, that would be horrible. That is bad for the NBA. I want to see the Knicks and OKC. I want to see the Knicks and the Timberwolves. I don't want to see the Pacers in the NBA Finals. I don't. Missing out on Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson in the NBA Finals, and instead seeing Tyrese Halliburton. I'm sick to my stomach just thinking about it. I'm actually sick to my... I could throw up right now. And on that note, those are my thoughts on everything going on in the NBA right now. Bitch, you let me know who you think is going to make the NBA Finals in the comments below. Get to it. Now. Type. I'm waiting. Again, seriously, again? You didn't comment last time, man. Just comment this time. I like to hear your thoughts on this new format. I'm trying something new with the channel. Kind of in my SDC, Zach Lee, Kenny Beecham bag, if you know what I'm talking about. Real ones out there now. Also, feel free to check out my newsletter, Roby Report. If you enjoy the content and also enjoy reading, that's going to be a great place for you to also keep in touch with the NBA, NFL, UFC, and really every sport I enjoy. If there's any interest at all, I'm thinking I'll probably start posting 1 to 2 articles a week. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to the newsletter over there. I'll be putting the link to Roby Report in the description below. It's also attached to my social media links on my homepage. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn those noties on. Matista signing out!